Okay guys, we're going to be reviewing that shop first aid kit this week. But right now, I'm going to be DuraCoating an antenna project that I'm working on for my ham radio, and I thought you guys would like to go along for the ride. I've used DuraCoat in the past for a number of projects. It's a great durable finish, and I'm going to be using Coyote Brown right there. It's used a lot for refinishing guns, as well as just a durable coating for any kind of outdoor piece of equipment. It's going to be a great finish for this antenna base that I built, and I'll have some photos and a little description on that. Right now it's set up in a temporary paint booth, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, there's a number of ways to spray DuraCoat. I'm going to be using this Preval spray gun, and it comes basically with a paint cup and a pressurized spray unit that you can just replace. This is a nice inexpensive approach, which is why I'm showing it. I also have an airbrush, and I've also used my HVLP sprayer. This is just an example of an airbrush. This is the airbrush that I use. It's a Pache, I believe that's the right pronunciation, and it hooks up to my compressor, and I actually have a large steel tank that I use as a pressure pot that then this feeds off of. And when I've done DuraCoat in the past, I've used this spray cup, and it just slips on to my airbrush with this little nozzle right here. But I thought for the purpose of this demonstration we would go ahead and take a look at using this disposable option, which is readily available at most hardware stores. Okay, let's take a look at the Preval sprayer. These are pretty inexpensive, and you can buy replacement power units. So this is the spray cup, and it has some graduations on there which makes it easy. There's a suction nozzle, and then the spray unit itself, which sits on top of here, and basically it's like a typical spray can at that point. This basically provides the pressure to the spray cup and then out through the spray nozzle. When you're all done, you can screw on the storage cap and then label your finish. Now you can't do that with DuraCoat because it's a two-part, essentially epoxy paint, and once you add the hardener you have about a 3-hour pot life, and then you need to dispose of it. So what I do, I clean this with acetone and spray that through the sprayer so that I can keep reusing it. Now I've added a small amount of acetone to this paint cup, and I'll just run that through the apparatus and then dispose of the acetone, and that way it just makes cleaning up the whole thing easier. Okay, now DuraCoat is a two-part finish. This is the finish, and then this is the hardener. The recommended ratio is 12 parts of finish to 1 part of hardener. There's a number of ways to do this. I just got a hobby syringe. You can get this at any craft or hobby shop. And I'm going to be using half a cc of hardener and then 6 cc's of finish. That should give me more than enough finish for this project, and then I won't waste any. Okay, I'm going to draw up half a cc of hardener. I'm going to put that in my little mixing cup. Then I'm just going to clean this syringe with a small amount of acetone. I'm going to save the reducer for thinning the finish if I need to. Today is a nice hot day, and I'm not anticipating needing any of the DuraCoat reducer. Just going to clean off the syringe. And now we're going to draw up 6 cc's of DuraCoat. And I've already shaken this quite a bit, but you want to shake it a good 3 minutes before actually using it, so it's all thoroughly mixed. So there's 3. And 6. Okay, I actually mixed up twice the batch that I was talking about, just to make sure I've got a good amount in the sprayer. And I'm just going to mix it up really well right now. Then we'll add it to the sprayer. These cups make it pretty easy to add to the sprayer because you can just squeeze them a little bit. All right, we're ready to go there. I'm just going to do a quick test spray on the side of the box. Clear the sprayer of any acetone that was in there. And we're good to go. All right, I'm going to get the spray booth set up here, and then we're ready to start. Okay, I'm going to protect all my tools in the background from overspray by just dropping this butcher paper curtain. Now the way I want to spray this is I'm going to spray the end real quick, and I don't want it to sit down on the bottom of the spray booth, so I will elevate it with this small coat hanger hook that I made, spray the end, and then I will swing this down, and then this allows me to spin the project around and spray it evenly. I'll also be able to get the top by just spraying across the top, and it will coat the top surface. All right, here we go. This is a nice quick little short project. Great way to demonstrate this. All right, I'm going to let that flash off, and then we'll pick it up. Okay, here's a good little tip from the woodworking side of my house, and that is I keep a bunch of disposable gloves in an old, I think this was a large peanut can from Costco, and that just makes it real easy on the bench to grab a pair of gloves and not have to go looking around. The other thing is, today's a hot day, and it's always a lot easier to put those gloves on if you dry your hands. All right, so this is splashed off. We're going to put some more coats on, and I'm going to work on getting some paint underneath the bottom of this T-connector here. So we'll do that right quick. Alright, we'll let that flash off and probably get one more coat on, and then we'll let it dry. Okay, in between each application and certainly at the end, I have been cleaning the spray nozzle of this Preval Srayer with just a little acetone and rubbing it with a paper towel, and that just gets off the spray that's on the nozzle. And again, this finish is not reusable, so I'm going to dispose of it. I think we did a pretty good mixing job. I'm just down to just a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of acetone in the cup. And we'll just start going through the cleaning process here. I'm going to get the bulk of the finish out, and then I will start spraying some clear acetone through the sprayer. Right now I just want to remove as much finish as possible before I get to that point. And I'll just tuck this sprayer away, and I kind of will dedicate this for DuraCoating. And again, these are, there's a lot of ways of applying this DuraCoat. I've used my Airbrush in the past with really good results. But I kind of wanted to show this because this is a very inexpensive option, and you can use it very easily, and it actually provides a pretty good finish. This is fairly comparable to what I get with my Airbrush or my HVLP sprayer. Just a slight more orange peeling than with those two devices, so not bad actually. And again, I'm just trying to clean up so that I can reuse as much of this equipment as possible. And I'm just going to remove the little bit of residual that's in this cup, and then we'll start spraying some acetone through it. There was just the slightest little film that likes to kind of gather on the bottom of the glass. So you can see this kind of cleaned up pretty nicely. And the suction nozzle has cleaned up very nicely as well. And I just have a little pile of these paper towels. I tore them up into quarters, and they're just sitting off to the side, ready to go. That way you don't have to go grabbing stuff when you're not prepared. Make sure that nozzle is nice and clean. I've got a little bit of acetone there. I'm just going to clean that bottom suction. Just going to quickly make sure that it's spraying nice and clear. Remember, this is a epoxy-based paint, and it's going to go off. It'll make this whole unit not usable. So that's pretty clean. Put the cap back on there. Get rid of that extra solvent. Sort of like using gun patches with these paper towels. And I'll just use the last bit of my solvent, just kind of a damp paper towel, and just wipe out the last little bit here. Use just a little piece of coat hanger wire, make sure we get all the way down in the bottom and all along the sides. And that makes it easy to pull out the paper towel and just clean off the sides. Alright guys, there you have it. This is DuraCoating for the average guy. So we used a inexpensive disposable sprayer that you can get at any hardware store. DuraCoat you can buy online. I'll give you the link. A little acetone to clean up your sprayer. An inexpensive project-sized spray booth, and make sure that we can get all access to the item that we're painting. Some disposable gloves. I'd recommend a appropriate vapor mask for spraying, and then just some miscellaneous supplies, some mixing cups, a hobby syringe, a popsicle stick. Anybody can do this, guys, and don't be intimidated by it. Go ahead and get some DuraCoat, get a project to practice on, and I think you'll be very pleased.